Tahoe Community College, spring quarter 2020. And we've been digging into the 8 limbs of yoga. Last week we started with the yamas. If you recall, those are our avoidances, things that we don't do, like we stay nonviolent, we tell the truth, we don't steal, we stay faithful to our partners, and we don't take more than we need. Those are your yamas. Now, this week, we're going to be bringing an emphasis to the niyamas, which is the second limb. Niyamas are things that you are going to do, things you're going to take up, things you're going to discipline yourself to do, and just like with the yamas, there's 5 niyamas. The first one is called SAUCHA. Now, SAUCHA means purity or cleanliness. This goes for the obvious cleanliness, keeping your space clean, your body clean, the inside of your car clean. The reason for this is that when things are organized and tidy and clean, it's a lot less stressful, right? Yeah, you can meditate, you can think about higher things rather than the little dust bunnies and the clutter in your house. Well, SAUCHA also comes into our asana practice as being pure in our practice, doing our practice with integrity and honesty. SAUCHA also comes into our practice as, and what are you putting into your head? Is it pure? Is it clean? What are you speaking out of your mouth? Is it pure? Is it clean? So it works on a lot of levels, and the more you work with it, the more subtle and delicious it will become. And your second niyama is called SANTOSHA. Now, SANTOSHA, the word itself just sounds like contentment. SANTOSHA. To be happy with what you have right where you're at in this moment. And then when this moment passes, to be happy and content in that next moment right there, and so on and so on. It's a practice. Your third niyama is called TAPAS. Now, TAPAS translates as burning zeal. Burning zeal in your practice. Discipline to get to the ultimate goal, which is self-realization, which is unity. When you say something and you do it, you're practicing tapas. You're honoring what you did. You say you're going to get on your mat today and do your practice, and you do. That's tapas. Now, your fourth niyama is svadhyaya. Svad means self. Svadhyaya translates as self-study or study of the self. So this includes researching different lineages, different philosophies, reading sacred scriptures, educating your mind, and also to study your own mind, to study yourself. How do you work? What makes you happy? What makes you feel good? Your fifth niyama is Ishvara Pranidhana. This is a big one. If you practice Ishvara Pranidhana, all the rest of the niyamas, all the rest of the yamas will naturally fall into place. And this is because Ishvara Pranidhana means to surrender the fruits of your actions to the divine, to something greater and bigger than yourself. To bow down before greatness, before the energy of love. To release your attachment to your own personal actions. To do things selflessly and without expectation of reward. Ishvara Pranidhana, to be devoted to the divine. Those are your niyamas. Now today for our physical practice, come onto your mat. We're going to be learning a new pose, a balance pose, which will work with your tapas, with your discipline. and your svadhyaya, your self-study. Ardha Chandrasana is a beautiful, expressive pose, and we'll be exploring that today. So sitting on your mat, taking a little hip support, right shin comes in first, left comes to the outside, your feet tuck under, about mid-shin, and then to advance your pose, turn the bottoms of your feet up. That starts to work on creating more flexibility in your ankles. Now, shins forward, so there's a nice triangular shape in the inner thighs and groins. Catch hold of your knees, turn the eyes of your elbows up, and lift your sternum chest. Now bring your palms together and take the base of the thumbs to the sternum. Level your chin, close your eyes, and take a few deep, sweet breaths, settling into your practice of union, body, mind, and spirit. Start to bring a little energy into the rib cage to expand the breath up into the chest and the rib cage by firming your belly and engaging at your pelvic floor. Just a lifting there, your Mula Bandha, and an inward drawing with the navel upwards towards the sternum chest for Uddiyana Bandha. With a level chin, a soft, relaxed face, the eyes are soft, the lids are relaxed, the hinge of the jaw is soft, and the tongue is relaxed. We'll begin with 3 ohms, the sacred sound of the universe. Exhale to begin, we'll do them all together. Inhale, expand the ribs, climb the breath, up, 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 hold at the top. Bow your head to your heart, surrendering the intelligence of the head to the intelligence of the heart, honoring our lineage and those who've gone before us on this path, and honoring our greatest teacher, the one that resides within. Now placing a sweet little smile on your face, just a gentle upturn of the corners of your mouth. Take a very full breath in, breathe it in, feel the ribs expand and stretch in all directions. And then as the exhale happens, let the arms float down, palms face up, backs of the hands rest on the thighs. With your next inhalation, bring your chin up to center. And with your exhalation, smoothly and sweetly open your eyes. Good work. Straighten your legs and change the cross of your legs. Move through straight legs, stretch the backs of the knees, give your toes a little wiggle, and then bring your left shin in and your right to the outside. Let's warm up our shoulders. Reach the arms forward, interlace your fingers, turn the palms to face away. As you press down with your thighs, lift at your pelvic floor, lift at your belly, and then lift your arms. Deep breath in, the back ribs, maybe you can lift them a little bit higher. Can you feel them lift? And you broaden your chest, bringing the outer armpits back towards the shoulder blades, and wrapping the outer armpits towards the shoulder blades, inner shoulder blades towards the spine, and scoop those inner shoulder blades up underneath and lift a little higher. Now straighten the elbows, tighten the elbows, roll your pinkies back. Deep breath here, week 6. Stay with this. One more breath. As you exhale, keep your arms straight and lower the arms down. Turn the palms to face up. And then reach the arms forward. Again, take the opposite interlace, less familiar. Turn the palms to face away. And with your thumbs touching, pressing down with your thighs, lift your arms. Now we've been working on our bandhas in the last couple weeks. Remember, bandha means to lock or to seal. Right at your pelvic floor, in and up is Mula Bandha. Right there at your belly. In and up is Uddiyana Bandha. Our third one we work with is our chin lock. So let's find that right now, as if you were tucking your chin around a large orange. Reach it forward, tuck that chin into the chest, and take 2 more breaths here. Keep the arms straight and lifting, belly firm. Final breath in. Release your chin lock as you bring your arms down, and turn the palms to face up. Separate the fingers. Good work. Let's make our way to standing now. Come to standing on your mat and find your blocks. Today's practice, you'll need 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, books will work. Cans of food will work as long as they're the same height. Be creative. You got a whole house to utilize, right? So finding your yoga blocks, place them right in front of you, just outside of your pinky toes, and just about a foot in front of your toes. Reach your arms down next to your sides, and finding Tadasana, spread your toes, reach the toes forward and press them down into the mat. Lift your inner ankles and feel the arches of your feet start to wake up. Lift your kneecaps, firm your upper thighs. Lift at your pelvic floor, draw your navel in and up, spread your collarbones, reach the arms down, look straight ahead, and take 2 more deep breaths in, steady and firm here in Tadasana Mountain Pose. Now, without releasing the firmness, the sthira, we call it in yoga, in the legs and in your core, reach your arms wide to your sides in a T shape. We're going to hold on to our wrists behind our backs in PASHIMA, BADDHA, HASTA. Turn the palms to face down, and then turn the palms to face away. Learn this action of rolling the arms down. Now bend your elbows and touch the back of your spine with the back of your fingers. Slide your hands together and catch hold of your wrists. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift the sternum chest, and if you feel like you could kind of curl your hands a little closer to those elbows, go ahead, give it a try. You should feel a stretch across the front of your chest, across the heads of your shoulders. Keep the legs firm. Take 1 more breath in. And then very slowly release your bind and bring your arms back down to Tadasana. Good work. GOMUKHASANA arms in Tadasana. Find your yoga strap. If you don't have a strap, we can always use our shirt as a little bit of something to bind onto. But if you have a strap, that would be best. Now take the strap and place it over your right shoulder. And just hang out there like a little friend. Reach your right arm forward and have the palm facing midline. Now turn the palm to face up. So the inner arm rolls to the outer arm. Learn this action. Let's take the palm to face midline again. Let's try it 1 more time. Inner arm rolls to the outer arm. Palm faces up. Good. Now reach your right arm straight above your head. Feel the side ribs lift and lengthen, and then bend your elbow, and like you're going to give yourself a little pat on the back, bring your fingers to the strap. Now with your left arm, reach it straight out, and we're going to do the opposite action with the outer arm rolling down to the inner arm, just like you did in PASHIMA, BADDHA, HASTA a moment ago. So let's try it again. Palm faces forward. Now as you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, turn the outer arm down so that the palm is facing away. Now bend that elbow and bring the back of the hand to your spine just like you did a moment ago. This time, however, turn those fingers up and catch hold of the strap. So with both hands on the strap, walk your hands a little closer together and then pull on the strap, broaden your chest. Keep that right elbow facing straight up, your left elbow facing straight down. Tuck your front ribs in, breathe deep, pull on that strap. Now maybe you can crawl your fingers a little bit closer. Maybe now the fingers can bind on. And if you don't have a strap to work with, grab onto your shirt, And that'll do for now. Take 2 more breaths right here. Open up the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Keep tucking your front ribs in and pressing down into your feet. Final breath in. Pull on the strap or the fingertips. And then exhale, release the strap. Release your right arm first, same way it came in. Nice, smooth action. And then release the left arm the same way that it came in. Feel that working in your shoulders. Switch sides with the strap. And we'll do side B. Reach your left arm straight out. Palm faces midline to begin. Now this inner arm rolls to the outer arm and the palm faces up. Inhale, lift your arm above your head. Exhale, bend the elbow and catch hold of the strap once more. Keep the left elbow facing straight up. Reach your right arm out. Opposite arm action. Palm turns down and away. Outer arm rolls down towards the inner arm. Sweep the arm behind your back. Turn the fingers to face up and work those hands a little closer together on the strap. Now take a look here. Oftentimes in this pose, because we're trying to get our fingertips together, we'll jut our front ribs out. All right? Don't do that. Bring the front ribs in, take the buttocks down, keep the legs firm into Tadasana, look straight ahead and breathe. Pull on the strap, keep pointing the left elbow up, the right elbow down. Now maybe those fingers can crawl towards each other. This is usually about the time you realize which shoulder is a little more flexible than the other. So which side was a little bit easier to get the fingers closer? Is it this side or was it side A? Just make a note for your next time that you practice so you can notice. Take a final breath in right here. And start to release the bind. The left arm lifts, comes back the same way it went in. The right arm rolls around and returns back to your side in Tadasana. You can place your strap to one side. Now you're still standing in front of these blocks for UTTANASANA forward extension pose. Stretches the back body. Bring your hands to your hips, your big toes together. Actually, let's take our feet apart for this first forward extension since we're just getting going. Take your feet hips distance wide. Press down into your heels. Inhale, lift your chest. Gaze up. As you exhale, reach as far forward with your sternum and the crown of your head as you can. Pivot right at the hips and come down. Now take your hands to the blocks. And if you need to walk the blocks in so they're a little closer to your pinky toes, go ahead and do that. Straighten your arms now for Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthening the spine and taking the spine deep, deep into the body. Concave spine, roll the shoulders back. Take one more breath, firm those thighs, lift those hamstrings a bit higher, and then exhale and bend the elbows and come down. Pressing into the blocks will lift your shoulders away from the ears and allow the sides of the neck to release. Keep your eyes open but soft and take a few deep, deep breaths right here. Empty those lower lungs, oxygenate your body. Final breath here, sternum bone closer to thighs. Inhale, come halfway up. Bring your hands to your hips, straight legs, straight spine, and rise back up. Good work. And move your blocks to one side. For VRKSASANA tree pose. VRKSASANA is a balancing pose. And it requires you to concentrate and focus like all of our balance poses do. So it's a very good pose to practice keeping regular breath going. Bring your hands to your hips and bring your big toes together, little space between the heels. If you'd like to use a wall, you can turn to face, or you can bring one hand to the wall for support, or you can take your back to the wall as well. If you have a chair, you can bring a chair onto your mat and utilize that as well. Now turn your right foot out 90 degrees. So the toes are facing away from midline of the body, and then lift your heel. Bring your left hip in and press down into your left foot. So feeling big toe mound, little toe mound. Inner heel, outer heel equally weighted. Find that first. These are your roots to your tree. This left leg is your tree trunk. Firm the thigh. Tighten the muscles to the bone. Lift your chest. Keep your gaze steady and soft. And then slide your right heel to your inner left ankle. Pause here. Still feeling the left foot well rooted on the mat. You can take your right foot up off of the mat and bring it to your shin. Keeping your gaze steady and your breath soft and your bandhas firm helps. To take the pose a little bit deeper, you can catch hold of your ankle and bring your foot up into your inner thigh. We've been working on this, yeah? Keeping that left hip in, the chest lifted. Reach your arms out to the sides. Turn the palms to face up. Lift your chest. Breathing here, reach the arms above your head. Use these arms to help you lift and lengthen through the side ribs. Take one more deep breath in, and then palms together to the heart, hands to the hips, and bring your foot back down to the mat. Big toes touch, find your balance. We'll move to side B. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees and lift your heel. Draw your right hip in and press down into your right foot. Inner and outer edges equally weighted. Hands to your hips. Slide your left ankle to your inner right ankle. Keep the front of the body lifting. Lift your foot up off of the mat and bring it to your inner shin. Use your bandhas to maintain form and balance. If you took the foot up into the inner thigh on the last side, bring it up onto this side so you stay balanced and equal in your practice. And then reach the arms out to the side today. Turn the palms to face up. Lift your arms above your head. Breathing here and enjoying your practice of balance and breath. Lift the chest. Take one more inhale. Palms together, hands to the sternum chest, hands to your hips, and foot back to the mat. Bring your arms down to your sides, close your eyes. Just take a few breaths and warming into your practice. Let the ribs expand and open your eyes. Facing the short side of your mat, Surya Namaskara A. Ooh, it's new, all right? So coming to the short side of your mat, Surya Namaskara A is a gentle flow, much like circling the winds. So this is another little vinyasa for you to learn. Coming into Tadasana, arms down to your sides. As you breathe in, lift your arms above your head and gaze up. As you exhale, fold forward right at the hips. Reach as far forward as you can. Release your head down and then tuck your chin into your chest just for a moment, finding Jalandhara Bandha. Hands to your shins now as you take a little half lift, spine deep into the body, collarbones spreading. Exhale, plant your hands, bend your knees, step back to plank pose. It's a high push-up position. Have your shoulders right over your fingertips. Be up high on your tippy toes and press out through your heels. Take one deep breath in here. And today we're going to lower down, bringing the knees down first, and then bending the elbows out to the side, lowering down the rest of the way. Untuck your toes. Slide your hands back next to your middle ribs and lift the heads of your shoulders. This next asana is called URDHVA SVANASANA, upward facing dog. It's a back bend. Arms are going to straighten and legs stay straight. Press down into the tops of the feet, firm the thighs. And now inhale and lift your chest, lift your pelvis up off of the mat, gaze up, broaden the chest, firm the thighs. You're balancing on your hands and your feet. As you exhale, draw back through the belly. Try to roll over those toes and come into downward facing dog. If rolling over the toes is a little challenging, just lift one foot at a time and then come back into downward facing dog. So that would look like this. Here you are in upward facing dog. Then tuck your foot under, downward facing dog. I'm going to take one more breath here, and then look to the front of your mat, and you're going to step, or maybe even take a little hop to your hands. You're taking a little hop, bend your knees, be up high on those tippy toes, look to where you want the feet to land, and then inhale, and hop to your hands. Bring your hands to your shins, reach your chest forward. Exhale, bow back down, chin into chest, lift those hamstrings. Inhale, rise up, straight legs, straight arms, reach the arms up, palms together. Exhale to sternum, chest, and hands to the sides. Good work. Our next asana is called TRIKONASANA, triangle pose. Find your blocks and place your blocks behind you, just like I did right here. I'm working with wood blocks today. They give good firm feedback. Stand in front of your blocks in the center and in front of your blocks for HASTA PADASANA, hand-foot pose. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, using your bandhas. Inhale, and step or hop your feet wide. Extend your arms, firm your legs. PARVSA HASTA PADASANA, turn your right foot out 90 degrees, angle your left foot in about 30. You want to have front heel to back arch alignment and level hips. Now we move into TRIKONASANA. Bring your back hand to your hip. Breathe up the front of the body, firm your left thigh. Exhale, reach as far over as you can, and then find your brick, place it on the outside of your ankle, and let your hand rest on the brick. Turn the inner arm to the outer arm, and with the left hand on your hip, bend that elbow back to rotate the torso forward. So upper ribs move back, lower ribs move forward. Deep breath here. Lift your top arm, stretch the arms away from each other. Breath is deep. Lengthening through the sides of your waist, the sides of your ribs. Prepare to rise up. Inhale and rise up. Turn your feet to face forward again. Keep your arms extended. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees. Angle your right foot in about 30. And just take a peek and make sure you haven't offset your feet. Bring your back hand to your hip. Take a deep breath up the front of the body. Firming the left thigh, pressing into the left outer heel, right outer heel. Reach as far over to the left as you can, and then find your brick. Place it on the outside of your ankle. Roll the inner arm to the outer arm, and with your right hand on your hip, bend that elbow back to help bring that torso sternum bone forward once more. Reach the right arm up, stretch the arms away from each other. Lengthen through the sides of your waist. Lengthen through the sides of your ribs. Deep breath, turn to look up. One more inhale. Firm that back leg. Use your bandhas to rise back up. Inhale and rise back up. Turn the feet to face forward once more. Bend your elbows, bend your knees. Step or hop your feet back to Tadasana. Good job. Move your blocks back to where you had them a moment ago. For VIRABHADRASANA 2, into, so linking our poses, VIRABHADRASANA 2, into UTTHITA PARSVA side angle pose. So warrior 2, into side angle pose. Stand once more in Tadasana, in front of your blocks and centered. Bend your elbows, bend your knees. Inhale, HASTA PADASANA. Open it up. Make sure your feet are in line with each other and those toes are facing forward. PARVSA HASTA PADASANA. Turn your right foot out. Turn your left foot in. So you've already been here in triangle pose, right? Inhale, take a deep breath in. We're going to lunge with that front knee. Exhale, VIRABHADRASANA 2. Now have your shin as straight up and down as you can get it. And your thigh is parallel to the mat as you can get it. Press the knee open. Keep it tracking more over the little toe side. Push back with your upper left thigh and press down into your outer left heel. Now, back hand to back hip. Front arm reaches just like you did in triangle pose. Take your hand to the brick. Roll the inner arm to the outer arm. With your left hand on your hip, bend that elbow back to bring the torso forward once more. Reach your left arm up. Turn your palm to face your head. Reach the arm over your ear and stretch. Turn that torso up. Gaze up under your arm if you can. Keep your back heel rooted. Press it down. Lift the inner back ankle. Take one more breath. Let's rise up. Inhale and rise up. Turn your feet to face forward. Side B. This is the heat of your practice here. You're building strength and awareness and balance. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees. Angle your right foot in about 30. Torso right over the hips. Don't lean forwards. Don't lean back. Right over the hips. Extend those arms. Take a deep breath in. Firming your right leg. Exhale and bend your left knee. Now sometimes you might be leaning forward here. See a lot of that. Keep the torso right over the hips. Reach back a little more with your right arm. Lunge. Take your back hand to your back hip for UTTHITA, TRIKONASANA. Inhaling. Exhaling, hand to the brick. Bring the brick to the outside of the front ankle. With the right hand on the hip, turn the torso. Reach your right arm up. Turn the palm to face your head. Sweep it over your ear. Reach the crown of your head, turn to look up. And celebrate where you're at, right here, right now. Use your bandhas, use your breath. One more. Tapas discipline, right here. Let's come on up. Inhale, straighten front leg, and rise up. Turn your feet to face forward. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, step or hop yourself back to Tadasana. Move your blocks off of your mat. Take a little sip of water. This would be a good time. Take a little sip of water, kind of shake it out a little bit. And then we'll do Surya Namaskara A again. Surya means sun. Namaskar means to greet. So it's a flow, a vinyasa flow that is nice to do in the mornings, first thing. Greeting the sun, warms up the body. So coming to the short side of your mat for Surya Namaskara A. Arms to your sides. As you breathe in, sweep the arms up and gaze up. As you breathe out, reach as far forward as you can. Let the head come all the way down. Tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, hands to your shins. Sternum bone forward, spine is concave. Exhaling, bend your knees. And step back to plank pose. Come up high on those tippy toes. Press out through your heels. Reach your sternum chest forward, shoulders over fingertips. Deep breath in, hold this just for one more moment. And now maybe you can just lower straight down or use your knees. Wherever you're at today, honor that. Let the torso come all the way down to the mat, whichever version you chose. Forearms straight up and down next to your middle ribs. Toes are untucked. The buttocks shift towards the heels to lengthen and broaden the lower back. Now firm legs, lift your chest, lift your pelvis, straighten your arms. Gaze up. Firm legs, roll the heads of the shoulders back, and inhaling. We're going to take ourselves back to downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under to lift or rolling over the toes. Wherever you're at, come to downward facing dog for 5 breaths. If you're ready to take a break, come down to child's pose and take your 5 breaths right here. Keeping the breath deep and smooth wherever you're at. If you're breathing deep, you're staying focused, you're doing your yoga. One final breath here. If you took an alternate pose, come back to downward facing dog. And now look to your hands. Bend your knees, come up high on your tippy toes, and either stepping or hopping to your hands. Bring your hands to your shins and gaze up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, bow down, tuck chin into chest. Inhale, and rise up. Palms together, hands to sternum, chest, and arms back to your sides in Tadasana. You are ready for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Just watch, I'm going to demonstrate, and then we'll do it all together. Again, this is a very common pose in vinyasa classes, so it's good to know how to do it right. It looks like this. It's a balance pose. And then coming back up. So, it looks a whole lot like a one-legged triangle pose, doesn't it? So you have everything you need to be able to accomplish this pose here today. Take your blocks and place your blocks at the back of your mat like you have so many times before. And then standing in front of it, we begin in Tadasana, moving into HASTA PADASANA. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, inhale, and step or hop, everything nice and wide. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees, angle your left foot in about 30. Come into triangle pose, bring your left hand to your hip, and then let's take triangle pose right here. So finding the action of turning the torso and firming the legs. Now, bend your front knee, and it's like you're in UTTHITA PARVSA, right? Side angle pose. Lift your back heel. Here we go. You're going to carry your block forward. You have to reach that block forward. Keep it to the outside of your little toe. And then shuffle in. Lift your back leg. And then straighten your bottom leg. Turn the torso to face forward. Reach your left arm up. Straight arms, straight legs, beautiful body. One more inhale right here. Expand it out. And then hand to hip. Bend the bottom leg. Step back to triangle pose first. And then inhale. And come back up. Turn your feet to face forward. It's a powerful, good pose, isn't it? To the other side. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees. Angle your right foot in about 30. Reach your left arm out for TRIKONASANA triangle pose. Inhale and exhale as far over as you can. Find the brick and bring it to the outside of your ankle. Turn the torso to face forward. Bend your front knee. Lift your back heel. Shuffle in a bit with the back foot. Carry your block forward. And then lift the back leg. Straighten the back leg first. Then straighten the left leg, your standing leg. Turn the torso to face forward. Lift your top arm. Breathing here. All limbs straight. Reach for the crown of your head. Take one more inhale. Bring your top hand to your hip. Step back with your right leg. Carry your brick back to the outside of your left ankle. Find triangle pose first, and then inhale and rise back up. Turn your feet to face forward. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Step or hop yourself back to Tadasana. Take a few breaths here. Find your balance. Find your breath. Good work. Now, find your strap. Open your eyes. Move your blocks out of the way. Take your strap down onto the mat for Padangusthasana, foot hand pose. And place it on the mat. Stand on the strap with your big toes together. The strap is right underneath the balls of your feet. We're going to fold forward and catch on to that strap. And we're going to use that strap to draw our torso down and lift and lengthen our back thighs. Hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in and gaze up. Exhale, forwards and down. Catch on to the strap with your hands. Now, half lift here encourages the spine to move a little deeper into the body. Draw the spine in, reach the chest forward. If right here your legs are straight and you can reach your feet, you don't need the strap. Tuck your first two fingers underneath your big toe and bring your thumb around to the outside. So you're making a loop with your fingers. And use those arms as a strap for leverage. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. As you exhale now, everyone, whether you're holding your toes or the strap, bend your elbows out to the side and come down. Bring some breath into the backs of your thighs. Lift your kneecaps. Let your head release down. Shoulders away from the ears. Deep, full breath in. Stay steady and calm. Enjoy your breath. Take one final round. And inhale halfway up. Bring your hands to your hips and exhale the rest of the way up. Move the strap out of the way. Find your blocks. Place your blocks on the short side of your mat and stand just behind them for PARVSA side stretch pose. Feet are hips distance wide. And stand right in front of, right behind them, maybe just about 2 or 3 inches. You're going to step straight back with your left leg. Make sure that you have space between your feet when you step back. Hips width, so that those hips can face forward. Now bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows together and inhale, gaze up. Let that back leg hold weight. Keep it straight. As you exhale, come forward, draw back through your front hip. Bring your hands to the blocks. Walk the blocks in next to your front foot. Inhale and find a half lift again. Shift the torso, the side waist over to the right, and exhale, bow down over that front thigh. So there's a little twist, and it's a forward fold, and it's another balance pose. Inner thighs roll back. Deep breath as you draw that right upper hip back. Bring your left upper hip forward and tuck your chin into your chest. Full deep breath. Final one. Come halfway up, inhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Rise up as you exhale. And then move your bricks back to the original position and step forward once more. Just one more side. Side B. Step straight back with your right foot. Again, making sure that you have space between your inner ankles as you step back so that your hips and your feet are in line with each other. They're just as wide. They're just as wide. Hands to your hips, elbows squeeze together. Start to lean back into that back leg. Reach to the crown of your head. Deeper and deeper. Squeeze elbows. Exhale, come forwards. Reach to the crown of your head. Draw back through that upper left thigh and bring your hands to the bricks. Bring the bricks to the inner and outer edge of that left foot. And then half lift again, URDHVA MUKHA, upward looking. Shift the sideways, the torso over to the left. Bend your elbows and lower down. Tucking chin into chest, working to get that forehead a little closer to the shin. Roll your inner thighs back. Take 2 more breaths. Into the back ribs, into the backs of the thighs. Come halfway up, inhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Exhale and rise up. Bend your front knee a little, move the blocks forward once more, and then step forward. TADASANA. Stand with your feet hips distance wide and reach your arms out to the side. Turn the palms to face up and reach the arms above your head. Bend your knees, UTTHITA. Stretch out those quadriceps. Roll the buttocks down. Keep the front ribs in and upper arms next to your ears. Those arms are nice and straight. Maybe you can bring the palms together. Oh, deep breath in. Drop those hips down just a little bit more. Inhale and rise up. Float the arms down to your sides. Good job. Face the short side of your mat. One more. Surya Namaskara A. Move your blocks out of the way. Big toes together. Little space between the heels. Reach your arms above your head. Breathe in. Remember your bandhas. Exhale, reach forwards and bow to the earth. Breathe out, tuck chin into chest. Hands to shins. Inhale, gaze forward. Ardha Chandrasana, half forward, intense stretch pose. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, and step back to that lovely plank position. This is your favorite, right? Arms are straight, up on the tippy toes, reach the heels back. Building a little strength here, right? Take one more breath in, and then either lowering down or bringing the knees down and lowering down. Slide your hands back next to your middle ribs. Loop the shoulder blades together, untuck your toes. Firm thighs, buttocks tip towards the heels. Inhale, lift your pelvis up off of the mat for upward facing dog. Gaze up, roll shoulders back. Your knees are not touching the mat. Your shins are not touching the mat. Take one more breath in. Exhale, draw back through that belly to come to downward facing dog. Step your feet wide. Take 5 breaths or child's pose right here. Deep, full, cleansing, restorative breaths wherever you're at. And now, if you're in child's pose, stay there, because we're all going to go there. Come onto your knees, everybody, and down, forward-facing dog. Bring your big toes together. Knees are a little wider than your hips. Roll the lower back down. Slide your arms forward, and let your head rest on the mat. If the head doesn't easily come to the mat, you can take your blanket or you can take your block. You can place it underneath your forehead for a little extra support. You can also bring your arms back next to your ankles and turn your palms to face up, if that would feel good on your shoulders. Returning to your breath. Draw those vigorous standing poses. Let your body soften and restore. next to your ankles, bring them to underneath your shoulders. If your arms are extended forward, slide them back to underneath your shoulders. And then slowly roll yourself up to kneeling. Bring the knees together. Tuck the toes under and set back onto your heels just for a moment. And then stretch the bottoms of your feet, lift your chest. Take a few breaths right here. Good work. We're going to come to the mat for some seated poses now. Find your blanket. Place your blanket on the mat. Sit down upon your blanket. And bending your knees, bring the bottoms of your feet together for TRIKONASANA, bound angle pose. There's a lot of bound angle things in asana, isn't there? And this is another one here. So bound because our feet are together, and angle because of the angle and the bend in our legs. Walk those heels in a bit more, catch onto your ankles, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back and down, broaden the collarbones. Just take a few deep breaths here. Let the thighs release down, and as those thighs release down, feel the pelvis and the torso lift a little more. Now, if you're feeling, oh, I could go a little bit deeper in this pose, you can come off of your blanket, and that will intensify the stretch. Keep the pads of your feet together, regardless. If you feel like you go a little deeper here, still, pivot right at the hips, come forward with the torso, bring your arms forward. Look down past your cheekbones, everybody, and breathe. Stretch out those inner thighs, lengthen through the sides of your waist, through the sides of your ribs. And then slowly rise back up. Help your knees come together. Keep your right knee bent and straighten your left leg. You can set back up onto your hip support now. Sliding your left heel in very close to your hip. Take a look at your right leg, straight out from the hip, pressing into the back of the heel, to the back of the shin, the back of the knee, and the back of the thigh. Take a little twist here. Bring your left hand behind you. Take your right elbow and nestle your left knee into that elbow. Lift your chest and twist. A little massage for the abdomen. It's getting a little pressure from your upper thigh. Press down into both hips equally, both sit bones equally. And then maybe you can bring this right elbow to the outside of the left knee and bring a little more leverage into your twist. Stand firm on your left foot, inner and outer edges. Turn to look out of the corners of your eyes. Bring your left shoulder blade around a bit more. One more inhale. Back to center as you exhale. This is a version of Marichyasana, Sage's Pose. Straighten your left leg. Bring your right leg in. Bring the heel in very close to the hip. Take a look at your left leg. Straight out from the hip, back of the heel pressing down, shin, knee, and thigh. Sweep your right arm behind you. And be up on your fingertips, hand up on that blanket. And then leaning forward, snuggle your left elbow into your left knee and twist. You should feel the pressure on your belly and your lower abdomen and your intestines. Very good detoxing pose. All yoga poses are really beneficial for your internal organ health. This is a big one. This is a big player in that game. Turning, turning, turning. Perhaps, if both hips are equally weighted, you can bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee and use it as a little more leverage to twist. Stand firm on that right foot, inner and outer edges. Draw your belly in. Don't neglect those two lower bandhas. Take one more inhale. And exhale back to center. Straighten your right leg. Now, bend both knees and open up the legs wide for Upavishta Konasana. Again, same leg position here, just out to the sides. Back of the heel, back of the shin, back of the knee, and the back of the thigh. I'm sitting right on the edge of my blanket. You should do that as well. If you're feeling like you could go a little bit deeper, like, I'm not really feeling anything in these inner thighs yet, then just slide off of your blanket, and that might make a big difference. With your fingertips behind you, up on the blanket or the mat, roll the shoulder blades together, lift your chest. Press down into the thighs to lift up a little higher, concave spine. Now, bring your hands forward. This is level 2. Bring the hands forward, keep the chest lifted. Level 3, if those toes are still facing straight up, the backs of the heels pressing down, then you're safe to go a little further. Pivot forward right at those hips. Walk yourself forward any amount till you feel an equal stretch in both inner thighs. Drawing back through the outer thighs and reaching forward towards the inner ankles with the inner thighs. Finding these actions, maybe you can come down onto your forearms. In the full pose, the chin rests on the floor and the fingers bind on to the big toes. As long as those toes can keep facing up, you can do it. So wherever you're at, enjoy it, breathe into it, and celebrate. Final breath in. Slowly walk yourself up with your exhale, or if your fingertips are behind you, release your hands from behind you and bring them forward. Take your hands to the outside of your knees and help them come back together to Baddha Konasana. Again, the pads of the feet press into each other, chest lifts. Bring your left hand to your inner left knee. We're going to take a twist here in Baddha Konasana and press away rather than down. Bring your right hand behind you and twist to your right. Just get a nice little stretch in that inner groin. Press your feet together as you twist. Take one more breath in. Breathe into your left inner thigh. And then exhale, come back to center. Right hand to the right inner knee. You're trying to use this hand not to push it down, not to push the thigh down, but to stretch this inner thigh muscle, your abductor muscles right in there. Bring your left hand behind you and exhale and twist. Keep pressing the feet together, tucking front ribs in. Head is level, breath is strong and full. Feel the stretch in that right inner thigh. Push your heels together a little bit more. And exhale, come back to center. Good work. Catch hold of those outer knees, bring the legs together. It's time for us to go down onto the floor for Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. Place your blanket at the back of your mat, so it's handy. And you just need one block. Find your block. And then slowly lower yourself down onto the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Tuck your chin in, chuck your tailbone in, and roll yourself down nice and slow. Once your spine is resting on the mat and the back of your head is on the mat, walk your heels in a little closer to your hips, and maybe you can even feel your hips with your heels with your fingertips. Feel them there. Now tucking the buttocks down towards the heels so the belly hollows and draws in. From the point when your hips lift up off of the mat, you don't turn your head. Okay, so no more turning your head once these hips lift. Only when the hips are on the ground is it safe to turn your head. It's just to protect your neck, okay? Reach your arms down next to your side. Turn your palms to face up and tuck your shoulder blades under. Slowly articulate your spine up off of the mat. Tuck the buttocks under and vertebrae by vertebrae. Press the feet down. Send the knees forward, their inner thighs towards each other, and the sacrum towards the ceiling. Roll your outer shoulders under a bit more so that you're on your outer shoulders more than your shoulder blades. Now, without turning your head, find your block and place that brick underneath your sacrum.
on your buttocks. So it's not on the lower vertebrae of your spine. It's being supported by your sacrum and your buttocks. And then turn your palms to face up again. So you can tuck those shoulders under a bit more. Now without turning your head, reach your sternum bone closer to your chin. So you hear your breath moving like a whisper sound in your throat. Lifting the feet one at a time to straight legs. Unless you're on your cycle right now, ladies, you would keep your feet on the floor. Okay, that's the exception right there. So lifting the right foot first if it's appropriate for you today. Straighten the leg. And then draw the left leg in and straighten the left leg up towards the ceiling. So here you are balancing on your block, arching the spine, pressing into the outer shoulder blades and gazing up at your feet. You can flex your feet, point your toes if that stretch feels good. You can reach your heels up to stretch the backs of the calves and the thighs, or you can kind of come to something in between, what we might call a ballet point foot or a floint, somewhere between a flex and a point. Either way, knees are firm, thighs are firm, chest is lifting, outer shoulders are pressing down. Breath is deep and slow. You're here for about 5 more. This is sealing your practice, balancing and equally distributing your energies throughout your body. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. One more breath. And then slowly bend the knees one at a time and bring the legs back down to the mat. Take a few breaths here, comfortable, easy, supported breaths. The knees are staying in line with the hips and all 4 points of your feet are pressing down. Take a final breath. And then removing the block from underneath your sacrum. I like to walk my feet in a bit and then come up on my tippy toes. Gets my hips up a little higher with a little more ease. And then slide the block out of the way. And slowly lower down, bring your hands to your lower back and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. And then bring the knees into the chest. Hold on to the backs of the thighs. Separate the legs and encourage the thighs to press onto the sides of your torso and the inner ribs. Rock side to side just a little bit. Massage that lower back. And come to center, bring the knees and the feet together. Catch onto your kneecaps, straighten your arms. Roll the knees around in little circles. You're massaging your lower back here, just giving it a little love. Switch directions of the circle. If you feel an area that feels a little tender, spend a little more time on it. And then to center with the knees. Take a deep breath in, take a full breath out, and then lift your head towards your knees. Bring your knees in towards your forehead and just scrunch your body up into a little ball. And then inhale and bring the head back to the mat. Exhale and bring the knees down and the feet back to the mat. Open up your knees wide for Baddha Konasana. Reach your arms out to the sides in a T shape and take a few deep breaths here. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle pose. Tuck the buttocks towards the heels so the belly hollows and draws in. And then you've reached your Shavasana here. So straightening the legs and letting them fall open to the sides. Finding your blanket, slide it underneath your head and your neck. Comes right to the tops of your shoulders, comforting, snuggling in. Arms down to your sides and slightly away from your sides. Tuck your shoulder blades under, let the collarbones broaden and the rib cage relax. Let the belly relax as well. Release your bandhas. Moisten your lips. Draw your tongue back into your mouth. Let it rest on the lower palate, away from the sides of the teeth. Eyes are soft and closed. Let the orbs of the eyes drift away from the inner lids. So let them sink down towards the back of your head like two beautiful stones dropped into a still pond. Withdrawing your senses one by one. Let the nostrils relax and feel them gently flaring as you inhale. And feel the breath moving in cool and fresh along the outer rings of the nostrils. As you exhale, notice the breath is warmed and moistened. Maybe you can feel it on your upper lip. Notice the little muscles around your ears. And let them soften and relax. Your temples recede inward. And if your brain was a muscle, it would relax as well. Notice your skin, your outer sheath. Let it soften. And let it fall away from the muscle. And turning your attention inward to the space between the skin and the muscle. Just try. Notice if you can feel any energy moving, vibration, electricity. That's your prana. And if you can't feel it, imagine it, try to feel it, and one day you will. This is your practice. Softening, melting, floating. But also having a feeling of being grounded, present in your body. Letting the body get a little heavier now. Letting your breath make it a little bit lighter now. So rest here for another 20 breaths or so. If the brain gets busy, well, that's normal. Just notice that thoughts have taken you away from your practice a bit. And take a really deep, full breath to regain your SANTOSHA, your contentment with right where you're at.
very gently now. Drawing your awareness back to the purity of your breath. Breathing in deep and full. SAUCHA, your first niyama, purity and cleanliness. Take a clean, fresh breath of air. You spent the last hour or so wringing it out, squeezing out the toxins, working it out. Now, having purified your body, breathe in. Feel the difference. And when you can feel your whole body breathing, or imagine it breathing, start to invite a little motion back to your fingers and your toes. Just brush your thumbs across your fingertips and give your toes a little wiggle. Feel the air and the space between them. Then roll your ankles and your wrists around in little circles and turn your head side to side, checking in with how your body feels, how your muscles feel, how your insides feel. Purified. That's one of the main purposes of your asana practice. Now inhale and sweep your arms above your head. Just take a big full body stretch, biggest, fullest one you can. And then side out. Bend your knees one at a time. Shift your hips a few inches to the left. And then roll all the way over onto your right side. Curl up here. Use your upper arm as a pillow. Bring your knees in close to your chest. Eyes still closed. Breathe into your back, into that space that you cultivated throughout your tapas, your practice today. Study the feelings that you have in your body, svadhyaya. And then locking in those good feelings. So you come back to your mat. Use the strength of your arms and very slowly, gracefully, and smoothly walk yourself up to seated. You can straighten that top leg to help you come up. Let your head stay heavy for as long as it can. Try to maintain this sense of santosha, of contentment that you've cultivated. And once you have risen back up, take your hip support, be kind to yourself. Bring your left shin in and take your right to the outside. Bring your palms together and take the base of the thumbs to the sternum chest. Level your chin. Close your eyes. And our fifth niyama is Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender to the Supreme, to the divinity that exists in our universe and within us. We all are a little piece of that divine energy, of that love. So here's where we practice Ishvara Pranidhana. We give our practice away. We send it out into the world, out into the spiritual bank where love and light are gathered. And with this offering, with this gift, goes our wish that this practice may be used for the best and highest good for all beings everywhere. That all sentient beings everywhere may be happy, that they may be healthy, that they may be safe, and that they may be at peace. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all sentient beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering. And celebrating this gift that you have just offered and sent out into the world. Know that it will be received. It is received. And together, let's offer one Om to seal our practice of unity. Or you can always say Amen, or any sound that is significant to you. Exhale to begin. Press the breath out of the belly. Inhale into all that fresh available space inside. And then bow your head. Float the backs of your hands down to your thighs with your palms facing up, your fingers relaxed. Inhale and draw the chin up to center with your eyes still closed. And feeling your body well aligned, shoulders over hips, collarbones spread, back of the neck soft and natural, face serene. Corner of the mouth slightly turned up in a happy little smile. Exhale and open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today. And on behalf of the universe, thank you for getting on your mat. And from the light in me, the divinity within me, I honor the divinity within you. Namaste.